Here we are now at the close of the book of Judges. It has been a turbulent period, to say the least. We saw in the book of Joshua that when Joshua took over from Moses, it was not as his successor in the sense of dynasty or the next person to hold an office. Instead, Joshua was to complete the task originally given to Moses. The point being that Israel was not originally intended to have a single ruler like a king, at least not a human one. But the generations after Joshua did not know about the Lord, and the book of Judges, very broadly speaking, has functioned to show the necessity of central leadership. Of course, it has many times illustrated the faithfulness and mercy of God as he time and time again provided saviours and deliverance for his people, and, despite their mounting disobedience, continued to feel deep compassion for them. It is compassion now in this chapter which saves the almost extinct tribe of Benjamin. One cannot help thinking that if the tribe of Benjamin had simply handed over the guilty party instead of engaging in war, massacring their own brothers multiple times, they would not have been brought so low. And, as one lie requires another, so one act of proud violence begets yet more dismal deeds. The remnant of Benjamites need wives, so the residents, including children, of Jabesh Gilead are annihilated, whilst the virgins are sifted out and retained. Jabesh Gilead was selected because they did not join in the fighting, but Israelites only seemed to come for vengeance as part of the solution to avoid Benjamin's extinction. It is admittedly neat, as they are not destroyed without justice. Nevertheless, at this distance, one can only wince at these ancient customs. The supply of virgins is not enough, and another trick is employed to make up the numbers. At an unknown annual festival, probably a local one, women are kidnapped. Wife stealing was apparently a feature of the ancient world, and Greek and Roman literature also know of it, also on festival days. This seems to us terribly unfair, and there is no mention of compensation. But it solves the problem without further bloodshed, as those robbed of their daughters are not guilty of oath-breaking. At this point, one again wonders if this has not been another instance of making rash oaths. Should they have committed to not giving their daughters to Benjamin? Was that a standard sort of oath? Women have played an intriguing role in the book of Judges. The book has ended with a lot of female passivity, as they are subject both to lust and politics. But throughout the book, they have played many key roles. Susan Niditch, an Old Testament scholar, observes that in the book of Judges, women are a way in and out of war. This reflects the way that sometimes they are the cause of dispute, or the instigators of trouble, or simply among the spoils of war. But others in Judges have played a more decisive role. Deborah was a mother in Israel, which probably refers to her role as both prophet and judge. Jael killed the commander Sisera, competing for the title of most gruesome death in the Bible. Sisera's mother also features in Deborah's song, who waits for her son to return with spoil for her. Abimelech is unstoppable in his mass murder, until a millstone is dropped on his head, the second skull to be crushed by a woman. Jephthah's reckless oath leads to the death of his daughter, who is nonetheless obedient to it, and creates in her mourning a tradition for other women. It is Samson's mother that receives the message from the angel and who calms her fretful husband. Samson's first wife is burned to death because of him, and he is later captured and mutilated because of Delilah. The Levite's concubine runs away and is later raped to death and then dismembered, her body being sent out in 12 directions as evidence and a summons to war. Finally, as we have just seen, women are kidnapped from various locations in Israel and assigned to a particular tribe to make up for a series of catastrophic blunders on both sides. A final comment on Judges. Even though there has been much to baffle and horrify, there is much also in Judges to inspire. God chooses unlikely people to do extraordinary things. Above all, it shows that God is determined to be good to his people, even when they are also determined to make a mess of things. In 2 weeks' time, we will take up the story of the final judge, Samuel, through whom will be established the Davidic monarchy, the prototype of the Messiah.